So this is the show subtotals method, and in this method students can work left to right or right to left. The idea is that students add each place value and they record that subtotal and then they add the subtotals. So for example, I'm going to show left to right first, and I'm going to do the problem, 879 plus 754. And so when I write it, I'm going to write it vertically. And working from left to right, they're going to look at the subtotals by place value. So I think of this 8 as 800 and the 7 as 700. And so 800 plus 700 would be 1,500. So I record that subtotal. Then I think of my 7 and 5 as 70 and 50, and I add 70 and 50 and have 120. So I'm going to write that subtotal, and then I do the same with the 9 and the 4, and those are 1, so I have 13. And then at the end, they're going to add all their subtotals. So they have their answer. So this is working left to right. And then they can also work right to left. So showing the same way, I would still write my problem vertically. But this time I would add starting from the right. So I'd do my ones first. 9 and 4 is 13. And then my 10, 70 plus 50 is 120. And then 800 plus 700 is 1,500. And then I would add the subtotals here. And if students understand the subtotals and the idea specifically of working right to left, then the traditional algorithm simply becomes a shortcut for them and a way of recording it in a simpler way. So sort of think of this as a progression for them thinking about the place value pieces and how they fit together. So then my language helps them transfer into that standard algorithm. And since 4th grade is the first time that they're learning that, then I can take this conceptual understanding and then transfer it into the traditional algorithm. So I'm going to work over here for that. And then the language that I use becomes very important with students. So I still start with my first subtotal of 9 plus 4 being 13, but I'm going to record it differently and I'm going to add along the way. So when I'm explaining to students, I'm going to use that language. So I'm still going to add my 9 and 4, but I'm going to record my 1s here, and then I have a 10, so I'm going to record my 10s with the other 10s that I have. So then that becomes, when I'm adding, I'm going to tell them that I'm adding 7 10s and 5 10s and 1 10, which gives me 13 10s. And instead of recording the 1 in the 13 10s is really 100. So I'm going to record that in the hundreds column. And then I have 800, 700, and 100, which gives me 1600s. So my total is 1,633. So talking through it this way just really helps students make connections to the place value, and the methods are very interconnected. So the show subtotals method, even if they start working left to right, then right to left, it should lead them into that conceptual understanding of the traditional algorithm.